start recording this. There we go. All right.
Yeah, I started on a new offer about I just come to the end of my third week now. My first week was ramping up.
Okay.
Um it's going well. My head was wobbling a little bit because it felt like a big boy offer. I was on a one-to-one with Corbin when it got posted and he was like, "Dude, you need to apply for that."
Mm.
And but yeah, I was looking for something new and now I feel like I've settled. I had my first piff earlier on in the week, which was a good feeling.
Yes.
Uh, Yeah, finishing the week on a good 20 sets here, so happy days.
Awesome, man. Congrats. Is that your first piff?
First piff on this offer, yeah.
Right on this offer.
78,
Awesome.
yeah, $7,800,
Let's
5.5% comms, so
let's go, dude. That's awesome. That is awesome to
yeah,
hear.
it's
Diego,
nice.
man, you got to throw a win in here. What you got?
I mean, I would say win so far is getting on more interviews. I mean, 100% more win for me. And also had a business owner reach out to me. So, I mean, it could potentially be an offer. I mean, I'm following up with him and hopefully it's an offer for me. So, I mean, yeah.
Excellent, man. Sweet Adolfo, welcome. Great to see you. I was like, Ben's here, man. Where's your partner in crime? Awesome. So you guys are on the same offer, right? Yeah. Okay. Head nods. Cool. Oh, I guess Bill. Bill left. Simon, welcome, my man. How you feeling after our talk? Feeling
Yeah,
good?
man. Very good. Yeah.
Some dude.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Hmm?
Well, all right. Let's get one more win. Elias, Aiden, Adolfo, Bill. Actually, Bill, I haven't heard from you, man. Give me a win.
Um,
Could be anything.
anything. Well, I could say like I'm almost done with the whole course.
Okay, let's go. What's your percent right now?
It's I didn't check the 40%, but right now I've watched like 80% of the course.
Awesome, man. Congrats. And how long have you been with us?
I think it's 3 weeks, two or like 3 weeks, yeah.
Okay, per 3 weeks, you're almost through everything. That's awesome. Great progress. And Bill, is this the first time to my call or no?
I think second call.
Second call. Okay. Welcome back then. Guys, I know we have some call reviews to do, and I don't, is anybody here for a graduation mock call? Okay. Didn't think so. So I think Ben, you got one. Diego, you got one. Anyone else have a call they want to review? Don't be shy, man. No? Okay. Well, Ben, let's start with yours. Will you get that pulled up? What what CRM are you using?
CRM is HubSpot, Dialer is Aloe.
HubSpot now. Okay, cool. Um, so what I'll do, just pull it up and then I'll just allow you to share your screen. That way it's
I
easy for
sent you the link on
you.
set
Send
to
me the link.
close. It was a
Okay,
message, yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, but while he's pulling that up and sending me that link, let's do a couple questions.
If you check your messages in set to closer, Stubbs, be in
Oh,
there.
you sent it to me over school?
Hmm.
I've got a question.
Yeah, what's
Uh,
up?
Usually, um, I just asked ChatGPT, but I'm not sure if it's right. So I saw ChatGPT reply to me saying, so offers that are below $5,000 usually have higher commission than the ones that are higher than them. Is that true?
Um, it really not not really. It's it really depends a lot on CPA. Like, you know, a company making $1 million a month could be profiting $20, right? Because you never know. So commissions and everything like that is based on, it's not intricate, but it is based on like more so margins that the company wants to hit based on what is my CPA cost, what is my fulfillment cost, what's going to be
Hmm.
left over.
Got
Typically, you want to be minimum at the 25 to 30% mark. Online, like people love online businesses because you can get closer to that 50% marks most of the time.
you
So yeah.
like
Does that make sense?
25% of what?
Let's say, let's say your product costs $10,000, right? The lead costs $500. Fulfillment costs $3,000. And so that lead in total costs $3,500. So you're pocketing 6,500 bucks. All right. So that's over 50%, but that's just an example. So, um, you know, typically setters will get anywhere from like 3 to 5% of the deal. It's pretty standard. And closers will get usually like 8 to 10. I've seen as high as like 12, 12 and a half for a PIF, but yeah,
So usually
it's it's
like
it's more
the
so based on the
margin.
margins they want to maintain.
Okay, so the margins like more, it's gonna be like more than 50% likely for the company.
Well, it may not be, but that's, I mean, the idea, like, a company wants to make money, otherwise they close the doors
Yeah.
and you don't have a job anymore.
Okay,
So,
got
yeah,
it. Thanks.
yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it's pretty much just based on the margins where they're at, like how much it's costing per lead and fulfillment. It's more so that than it is like the cost of the actual product.
Okay.
We got Abdul in here. Sweet. Right. Good question though. Anything else, guys, before we get into this call review? No? And Elias, did you get on an offer? You're on an offer?
Yeah, yeah, on an offer. It's a DM setter offer.
Okay.
Um, that the same recruiters got me on. So yeah, like my first week.
Okay. Right on, dude. Well, how do you feel your first week?
It's all right. Um, there's a lot of lead flow, a little bit different than the last one.
Hmm.
The only thing is like they had a promo and there's like a lot of leads, but because it is a B2C offer,
Mhm.
it's a bunch of like unqualified people.
I got
It's been rough, kind of like trying to find like the gems and people that are eager to do this. Plus, they are in the right spot to be able to do this because most of the people who are very eager to do it
you. Mhm.
are not really in the right spot. They're like third world countries or really broke.
Gotcha.
So that's like has been rough. So I'm just trying to make the most from what I have, like follow up with a pipeline and have meaningful conversations.
Cool, man. I like the attitude. Keep me up to speed. Let me know how it's going. If you need help looking for an offer, shoot me a DM, okay?
100%.
Yeah, dude. Because you put in a lot of work. I see you coming to all the coaching calls. Abdul, welcome. Great to see you, man.
Thank you, thank you. How are you?
Great, man. I know things are kind of a little bit crazy over there. How are you doing? You doing okay?
I'm doing good.
Okay.
Uh, Actually, I was practicing a script and I don't know what was the time, so that's why I'm late.
Gotcha.
Sorry for
Hey,
that.
no problem, man. Sounds like you were practicing. Patty, welcome. How you
Hi,
doing?
good. How are you?
Excellent. Is your camera working today?
Yeah, I can turn it on.
Okay.
I just don't like being on video.
I know, but we're all supporting everybody here.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
that's the rule. If you can have it on. So Ben, so Patty, what we're gonna do is we're gonna dive into Ben's call. We're gonna do a little review here.
Okay.
And then yeah, we'll s- we'll start. And if anyone has any questions while we're reviewing the call, let me know. We can pause it and go over it, okay?
All right. Trying to figure out how to turn my camera on.
I sent you a little
Oh,
prompt.
I think there it
There we
is.
go.
Okay, I'm
Perfect.
here. Now,
All
how
right.
do I get it off of me?
Well, I mean, we all want to see you.
All right. Well, whatever. Okay.
You're all right. All right.
Okay.
Let's see. Ben, let me open your call here real quick. All right, and Ben, before we get into this, is there anything you want to focus on specifically?
Mm, can't remember which one I've sent you now. Is this you now?
Well, let's play a little bit of it.
Yeah, not so sure.
Hello?
Hey, Yanal, how are you?
You know?
Hmm.
Okay. So anything you want to focus on?
Um, Not that I can remember off the top of my head, but there'll probably be something in there that was the reason that I marked it for review.
Okay. Gotcha. So what I usually do is we'll go till we hit like 3 strikes. We'll practice that and we'll come back to the next one, okay?
Cool.
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I bet you weren't expecting an English.
And
Yeah,
Ben,
I
for a
think I'd
second,
kind of go on.
just remind me of your offer real quick.
Real estate investing coaching program.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think I'd messaged this guy a couple of times and then just decided to give him a ring. So that's why the intro's a bit kind of skew with, like he knew my call was coming.
Oh, okay.
Hello?
Hey, Yanal, how are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I bet you weren't expecting an English accent coming your way here.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't expecting a 510 number as well. I was thinking the guy was from Cincinnati.
Yeah, we're based in Cincinnati, but we got guys that work all over. So we have a phone system that kind of uses local numbers and all of that kind of nonsense, right? But yeah, I can see why it kind of threw you off a little bit. But yeah, look,
Yeah.
I just wanted, I mean, yeah, it sounds like you've been through it recently, but just wanted to give you a call and get a better picture of what you got going on, and yeah, see what direction we might be able to point you in, I guess. So yeah, fill me in,
That'd be
man.
awesome.
What's going on?
So I want to like first question shot across the bow. I want a little bit more confidence. Like, and I want a more direct, like, it doesn't have to be like a super direct question, but you're dealing with like like people who want to invest in real estate. Most of these guys are going to be like super direct, like straight to the point. So I want like a little bit more energy. And it's like, okay, hey, Ben from so and so. Yeah, I bet you weren't expecting an English accent, right? So, man, I'm really just calling to see what we can do for you. So, what's going on right now that's got you looking at this? Or something like that. But do you see how that's like a little bit sharper, a little bit more direct, and it's like clean,
Mm.
right? A little less wishy-washy because if we like how much is this offer?
7,800.
7,800. Okay, that's not bad. But so yeah, typically with real estate, like people are gonna you just gotta be a little bit more direct. So want that intro a little bit, well, not a little bit, but I want it like really clean and crispy and not so wishy-washy, okay? And
Noted.
I know the context of this conversation kind of probably threw you out of your regular element, but now that we have that experience, what I want you to do is go back and okay, if I come into this situation where I'm like calling a guy back, he knows I'm calling, like I want to know exactly what to say.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep.
All right.
Sounds chaotic.
Yeah. So me and my homie were investing in this smoke shop slash club thing. You know what I mean? He asked me for a certain money down.
Wait, is it real estate or digital real estate?
Physical real estate,
Okay.
houses.
Or whatever, you know what I mean? And we got the space, we had the LLC, we had everything, whatever, you know what I mean? I was giving him the money, putting it in the LLC and whatnot. And then dude just kind of went AWOL and just disappeared. And I still don't know where the fuck what happened to him and shit. This place ended up having to get, it was a whole bunch of shit. Luckily my name wasn't on it and whatnot, but yeah,
Okay.
I lost like a portion of capital that I had.
Yep.
And honestly, I was going to use that capital for like real estate investing, you know? So when that happened, I was like, fuck, dude, like I could have just bought some shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
And it kind of like fucking it made my head hurt for a little while, you know what I mean? But then I realized like that, you know, everything happens for a reason. That was a lesson I needed to learn, and that, you know, I need to seize the moment moving forward and handle what I know I can do, you know, on my own individual and whatnot. So I'm
yeah,
doing a lot better, but yeah, definitely was a
hey,
tricky situation.
for anyone, that's a large amount of money to lose, man. I can see why that frustrated you a lot. What do you mean that he just kind of went AWOL?
Yeah, so he just disappeared. He went out the country.
I like the question you asked because, you know, we want to know what went wrong so we know how to say, so we know how to disposition how what we do is going to be different. So that, like, I like where your head's at here.
I'm pretty sure he just took a lot of the capital money.
Damn.
And it's a guy I've known for a long time, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not in contact with him no more. I wasn't really gonna go through the police route, to be honest, because
Okay.
yeah, you know what I mean? I feel like I'll get it back full circle someday, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Where does
you know
that
what I
leave
mean?
you now
Feels
then?
like
Have you managed to build? Say
It's a
again.
little bit
yeah,
quiet,
so right
Stubbs.
now,
What's up?
It's a bit quiet.
Yeah, I had mine turned. Let me see if I actually did it right. Yeah, I shared the sound. You might just have to turn it up. Mine's actually going in and out too, and it's a little hard to hear. Because I think he might just be far away from the phone. But I'll try to stay quiet, not blow your ears out.
so right now I have some other assets that I had to. I got like 25K in crypto and like almost like 30K liquid.
Okay.
So I'm still trying to build. I'm trying to give myself like another 2-3 months unless I find just a great deal. You know what I mean? But I already opened the LLC for the real estate company, and
This guy seems like a great prospect so far.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, basically, you know what I mean. I want to put my money down into something that I know I can get a cool return on, and keep reinvesting in that industry. So
Got it. Yeah, I was going to ask what it was about real estate that kind of caught your attention there, because you mentioned it was a smoke shop that you were looking at before, right?
yeah, so it was a smoke shop and it was a club also, and there was
Oh, okay.
one building, and we're renting it from some dude. And yeah, you know, like it was gonna be a good thing. The only thing about it is like, you know, I really did just get scammed because we opened up the LLC, whatever. He asked me for, you know, initial payment of this. He was showing me, you know, invoices being like, oh, you got this in, this.
So what I'm thinking right now is this guy went through a really bad experience. And so, and unfortunately, it does happen, right? And it's terrible when it does happen. But what I'm thinking right now is I want to really understand, like, dude, after that, you know, most people would just quit. What's got you keeping on, man? Like, what's got you still pursuing this? Oh, well, this. Okay. I mean, you seem like a, you know, pretty hard charger, man. Like when you looking to make a change or like do something, blah, blah, blah. And then he'll, you know, run into timeline. But that's where my mind's going right now. I want to get that, but I'm curious to see where you go.
Hmm.
Patty, does that make sense so far? Thumbs up? Oh, I can't hear you. Let me hear. I'll ask you.
Okay, I unmuted. Okay,
Does
sorry
that make
about that.
sense? No, no
Yes.
worries. It does? Okay, cool. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure. Any questions so far on what we've covered?
Nope.
Okay.
And then he just disappeared, you know. And I've known him for a while, so
Uh-huh.
it was just, you know, it was just a fucked up situation. The reason why I went to that is because I was thinking like I was gonna get more revenue from that, you know what I mean? And I could put that towards real estate, you know what I'm saying? But really, I wish I just took that 50 G's and bought like 2 cribs. And
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? I would have bubbled honestly faster than the smoke shop club. So
Mhm.
I mean, that's why now like I know like trying to find a house that I could add value to it, you know what I mean? Get a certain amount of equity out of it, and then take that thing out and keep repeating that, rent out those places. Ideally, I'm really doing rentals. I'm not looking for like fix and flips unless the
Okay.
deal is there, you know what I mean? But really, I'm looking for to rent out the properties and cash flow, have them, you know, forever long as I can have them.
Yeah, that's certainly a good way of going about it. Are you fairly familiar with a Burr method then? What's your kind of understanding of
Yeah,
it
so
all?
I've never done it personally. I know people close to me who have been really successful at it.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, really, it's just like me doing it and also having the support. I feel like it'd be better to have the support in the first process. You know what I mean? Just so I could, have all the information I need to make the right choices for the most part. And then also a
Yeah.
network of people on the same type of mindset.
Okay. Got it. What's the kind of big goal with it all then?
Big goal for real is I want to have over 100 doors and be able to
Before I go goals here, I want to know what he's tried before. He kind of like mumbled through some stuff. Kind of this, kind of like, okay, so you mentioned the smoke shop, the club. Like, what else have you tried to kind of grow your real estate portfolio? Oh, this, that, and the other, or nothing. Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, I guess what stood out about this specifically? Oh, well, I like the fact that XYZ, right? But I really want to dive a little bit more into like what he's done before, so I can kind of burn those bridges in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I think yeah, maybe that's what I was looking for some support on is I feel like I jumped into like mm, Payne was like okay, but I didn't really understand his current situation too well other than he'd had a dodgy business dealing with a friend of his. But like, I think the thing that threw me off is like he basically financially qualified himself very early on. So I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm like, oh shit, okay, so this guy's got money. I just want to set him, just get him on a call as soon as possible.
yeah,
And maybe that hindered my discovery processes like as well as I could have done because I didn't want to burn it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is a really good lesson for everybody, and we'll get back into it here in a second. So there's going to be prospects that are just super good. They're super straightforward, and you're like you start to get excited, right? An experienced setter will just go through the whole process anyway, right? Because if we get excited, we cut corners, we don't do the full triage, and we don't ask the questions we should, and then they get on and there's some objection with the closer, right? Some of the worst people, not worst people, like not that they're bad people, but some of the calls that kind of went south for me very early on was like people who came on my closing calls who were like super, super, super excited and just like, I'm 10 out of 10. Let's just get to it. Take my credit card. How much is it? Right. You just like, whoa, let's slow down, buddy. Like, I don't even know if I can help you. Right. And so generally people like that don't close, because they get to it and they're just like, they kind of like leap before they think kind of deal.
Hmm.
And then when they get hit with price, they're just like, oh, yeah. Okay. You know, they change their attitude real fast. So even when it seems like, oh God, this is the perfect prospect, we can definitely help this guy. He's financially qualified, you name it. Don't forget to do your process. Okay, cool. All right,
Yeah,
guys.
it's
Let's
good lesson.
any questions on that? Who has anyone run into that situation, by the way? Just like feel like you got the perfect guy and then you rush to it and you're like, yeah, I'm, or like he doesn't show or something. Yeah, I got you guys. Yeah. Okay. Let's get back into it.
take the money from honestly, like once those are like all got a lot of like houses that paid off and whatnot. Really, just be able to like use that other money and invest them into other avenues. Whether I invested in into another business or whatnot. But I want to build that strong portfolio of cash flowing properties.
Mhm.
And then take some capital and then go do something with a business or something like that.
Kind of
That has a little
diversify
bit
your
more risk.
portfolio a little bit.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
And
my
when you
goal
say,
is to be able to my goal is to be able to live off some of the rent, be able to reinvest some of that that money that's coming in through the rent, and also
Mhm.
be able to also I want to be able to have those properties and stuff so I can be able to add value to people in my community as well. You know what I mean?
Got it. Yeah, I was going to ask what the bigger mission was here, because kind of like I guess money's one thing, right? But I mean, at the moment, are you just supporting yourself here, or have you got kind of a partner, any kids
Yeah,
involved? Or?
I'm single, so by myself, I have no kids.
Got it.
And really, I'm just trying to build a solid.
Okay. So here's what I want to do. When he's like, I want to do this, I want to do that, blah 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 blah. Go 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 go. Perfect. So, man, I mean, it sounds like you've tried a lot of stuff. Like, ultimately, what do you feel is missing from, and is keeping you from hitting that goal? Now we're gonna pull the problem out of him because, like, right now we know he had a bad deal. We kind of know things went south a little bit, but we really don't know his problem. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So like at this point in the conversation with the way it went, I would just go back and be like, okay, cool, I got this goal. Seems like a good prospect. Like, so what's keeping you from hitting that? I mean, it seems like you've tried a lot of stuff. What's going on? Oh, like I feel like I just haven't found the right method, or like, whatever he says, you name it. Okay. And when you say this, what do you mean specifically? Or like, why do you say that specifically? Or how long has that been going on for? But you see how like this opens up a whole nother can of questions that you can ask and like dig into the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you have to spend 10 minutes on it, but at least spend maybe another 60 seconds to minute and a half, like digging into that problem. And did this guy, is he set, or what ended up happening with this guy?
Yeah, I think it's set for Monday.
Monday. Okay.
Yeah, we got some sort of conference over the weekend, so a lot of our closers are off, which is why I was asking Matt about confirmation process earlier to see if I could get any
Uh,
gems out of it.
yeah, typically, um, I mean, yeah, just like Matt said, don't set people more than 3 days out, ideally. If you do, here's the tie down I use, because some guys legitimately are like super busy, like, real estate guys. And this will happen more in this space. Well, I can do it next week on XYZ. Okay. Well, really, I mean, ideally we could get you in the next, we want to get you in the next couple of days. What time works well for you? I really can't. Okay. I mean, Ben, do you live and die by your calendar? And let's role play real quick. Do you live in, but are you kind of the guy that like lives and dies by your calendar?
Do you want me to go yes or no?
I mean, say yes.
Yes, I do.
Gotcha. Okay. So if we don't schedule this out, X number of days, like your calendar's booked up between now and then, like you don't even have an hour.
No.
Okay. Gotcha, man. Well, Ben, no worries. So, what I'm gonna do, I can get you booked out that far. Um, Typically I don't, but I mean, you seem like a pretty busy guy, and I want to make sure we make time for you. If I put this on for next week, does that 100% work for you? Yeah, okay. So I'm not gonna get an angry call next Thursday that you didn't show up, huh? Okay, I got you, man. And if something does come up, would you text me? Yeah, okay. I mean, you can do something like that. I've had success, but like they've got to be like legit busy business owners, blah blah blah. But typically, you don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's keep going.
Foundation, so when I do have kids and stuff, I can teach them, what I did and what I learned and pass the torch on to them. But really,
Yeah.
I'm trying to build wealth, so I can take care of take better care of my mom and my brother, be a professional example,
Uh-huh.
an entrepreneur.
Got it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I know you mentioned about the having the support there from people who have kind of done it in the past, and having a network around you. I guess you mentioned as well about kind of having the if you had the right plan, something.
Oh no, dude, you skipped right over it. The dude's like, I want to support my family, and you're just like, yeah, all right. So you talk about a plan. Jeez.
Yeah.
All right. All right, that's strike three. So I would say focus, I know the context was a little bit different coming into this call. So I want you to just, when that situation comes up again, I want you to have a plan going into it, and I want you to know exactly what you're going to say, right?
Yeah.
So, right, it doesn't have to be much or different than like what you already do in the intro, okay? It's just he's just gonna know you're calling. So you don't have to be like, hello? Like, is this so and so? Like you already know it's him. He knows you're calling, right? Hey,
Mhm.
hey, Ben here from blah 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 blah. Right. And then you can go straight into your normal intro.
Sure.
Yeah.
When he said about his wanting to support his family there, which direction would you have taken it? Would you have been asking him like why that's important to him, or would you have tried to link it back to where he is now in some form of like, oh, gotcha. Do you feel like you're not able to take care of them now, or as well as you could now, or what's the
Hmm. I would do both. Um, and so what I was thinking is just like, oh wow. So you want to take care of your family? And then if he doesn't answer, just be like, I hear you, man. Why is that important to you specifically? Oh, because this and this. Okay. Well, can I ask you a personal question, dude? Yeah. I mean, do you feel like you've been able to take care of him like you want up to this point? No. How long have you been feeling like that for? Time frame.
nice?
Okay. But do you see now we have, I don't want to call it ammunition in a bad sense, but do you see now we have points of motivation to get him to show up to the next call?
Yeah, you got a gap.
Yep. So I would say nail your intro, focus on the problem, and create that gap. Those would be like the three things right now.
Sweet.
But yeah, like your tone's pretty good though, and your energy is good. But with real estate, like guys investing in real estate, do you see how he's like he's very precise with his wording. He's sharp. Like he's talking a little bit faster.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying you have to talk as fast as him, but like that's the kind of like clarity and like confidence you need to be talking with selling real estate
You got to
offers.
be sharp. Yeah.
You have to be very sharp. Yeah. Um, is
Great.
that helpful?
Yeah, very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. Right. I think, do we? Yeah, we got Corbin in the house. What's up, dude? Wait, look at those. Do that again. Look at those guns. Oh man, all
I
those
noticed
golf,
that. Go on, Cobb.
all those golf
That's
swings.
not why I showed up, Eddie, but also Patricia, nice to meet you. That's not why I showed up. I showed to say hi.
Um, all right. Let's see. Diego, did you bring a call?
Yep, I sent it to you in the Taylor to Closer group.
Okay, over school. If you
Yeah,
guys just post them in the chat in like on the Zoom, it would be way, way easier.
let me post it on the chat as well.
That's okay, man. I got you.
Got it.
Seeing like in the future, if just like post it in
Yeah.
the. Okay, cool. Came up here.
Michael, real quick, did everyone else besides me say happy birthday to Corbin a couple of days ago? I missed that.
Oh
So
yeah, he
put him
got.
in on blast here.
If anyone doesn't know, it was Corbin's birthday Monday. Yeah.
Dude, happy
So I
birthday,
think
man.
I think at the end of this, we'll all sing him happy birthday and just embarrass him before he gets up
Whoa,
the skull.
whoa. I embarrassed myself enough. I don't need that.
Gotcha, man. Well, happy birthday, dude. All right. Everyone put like a cake emoji in the chat there for Corbin. Because he's the sort of guy that can have his cake and eat it too. All right. All right, Diego, let's bring your call up. Nice. Okay. And Diego, walk me through your offer.
The offer is teaching people how to start their own marketing agency, pretty much.
Marketing agency, got it.
Yeah.
I joined with yeah, sorry. So sorry, Corbin. When I share my screen, the all of the participants pop up on like another screen over here, so I usually don't see it. So sorry, bro. I wasn't giving you the cold shoulder.
No, you're good. I just joined, and like 10 seconds later, you're like, Ben, that's strike three, man. He just told you on support his family, and I just started dying laughing, so I had to mute.
Got it.
Ben,
All
you're
right.
doing great, brother.
Yeah. Corbin, so I know you caught the tail end, but did you have anything to add?
The script is a blessing and a curse, man. Because the script is what makes that kind of question happen. Because you're like, oh, cool, check, I got this. Let me just make sure I get these last few checks. And someone drops a powerful statement, and then a coach is like, hey, Ben, strike three. So it's more of a matter of when you start to listen better on your calls and when you feel comfortable enough with the script that you don't need it. But like, this is a part of that process. So you're in the right spot. Just if someone says they want to support their family. You'll laugh at this in the future, I promise, my friend. But
I'm laughing
right
at it
now, it
now.
is funny to kind of laugh maybe at you slightly instead of with you. Because, like, damn, dude, someone's going to open up like that. Don't go to like your checklist.
I'm laughing too.
You be present.
Yeah. Ben knows it. All right. All right, Diego. So what do you want to, anything you want to focus on specifically on this call?
I would say the show rate, asking more questions to make sure he actually shows up. And I would say, yeah, I would say that would be the main thing.
Okay.
Asking more questions to make sure he shows up. Yeah.
So did this guy already no show?
Well, I mean, I called him because I was going to reschedule because the coaster was running behind. And when I called him, he actually answered me. He told me he will be there. But then when the coaster called, like 5, 10 minutes later, he didn't show up. So that got me confused.
Okay. Got it. Um, okay, let's see. So most likely we didn't build enough urgency and he didn't see the value in showing up. So, but let's take a look. So like rarely does somebody not showing have to do with tie downs. It more has to do with like how the discovery went. Can you give me thumbs up if you can hear that? Cool.
Hello.
Hey, Max.
Hey, what's going on, bud?
Hey, doing great. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Awesome. I just saw your text message. Did, did you get an email from Josh? I'll be happy to answer the questions that you have so you have more clarity. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, yeah.
So wait, what can you kind of that was a weird intro. Can you kind of explain to me the
Yeah,
context?
yeah, I'm pretty sure he sent me a text message
Uh-huh.
about asking for more information, and I think he asked me about the email that he got sent. So I'm pretty sure he sent me a text message. I think we had a couple conversations to text, and then I gave him a call. So that's why the intro was like that.
Okay. Let's go back.
Hello.
Hey, Max.
Hey, what's going on, bud?
Okay. So he already knows it's you calling, right?
Not at this time because I think we didn't get a time in the when I was going to call him. I think I called him an hour later, I think, because I was on a call. But he
Okay.
doesn't know it was me. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So, but you guys have already like texted back and forth and kind of built some
Yeah.
sort of a little bit of okay. So, I wouldn't do the whole, is it this person? I'd just be like, hey Max, it's Diego from blah blah blah. Okay. Hey, I saw you were looking for more info, and you missed your call earlier. I just want to make sure that, and we can just kind of get into it. Does that make sense? Okay.
Hey, doing great. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Awesome. I just saw your text message. Did did you get an email from Josh? I'll be happy to answer the questions that you have so you have more clarity. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Yeah, I should be like, um, hey man, saw you wanted more info. So I'm definitely here to answer your questions. And then I would just go into it, and ask him the first question, because he's already asked for it, right? Um, so I would have a little bit stronger intro here.
yeah, I had gotten an email from him, and then I think I gotten a text message. He had tried calling me, and then or you did. I was. What kind of program is this, or like what is the?
Yeah.
Okay, so he no showed, and now this is you calling him after a few texts.
No, this is before the actual call, before he scheduled the call. So this is before.
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
confirming.
No, this is the first time that we're talking. Yeah. Well, through a call. I mean, we
Okay,
text before and then I
let's
scheduled the
pause for a
call
second. Is
and
this is this before or after his closer call?
oh, this is before. This is before.
Okay. So, and then he had a text that he wanted more info, so then you called and reached out.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
What like
Yeah.
how does this work? What you guys are
Yeah.
telling me about?
Yeah, of course, I'll be more than happy to go over the details. To give you a little bit of context, basically, we would teach you how to generate leads for local businesses by building
Uh,
simple little websites. We have almost 100 templates inside of the program. That's the general idea of how the program works.
Yeah, man. So, first mistake, I mean, we're like you're giving him he doesn't think he has to, and then he no showed the next call 10 minutes later.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, so you're giving him all the information he needs. And it's not like giving him information is a bad thing. Um, so you could be like, what I would do is a quick like answer and then a redirect, right? Yeah, so what we do really well is help local businesses generate more leads. So what's going on that's got you reaching out? You see how I kind of like acknowledge what he's doing and then redirect the conversation in a way that progresses getting to the pain?
yeah.
Gotcha. Are you busy right now?
No, I'm typing what you're saying. So, and what happens if, let's say, he persists on asking about knowing more information, about asking more about the program? Do you just keep on redirecting, or how will you handle it?
Yeah. So this is why we want a strong intro. So you could like if he keeps asking, like, yeah, dude, I'd love to give you more info, but honestly, man, we do quite a wide variety of things. So what I think would be best in this situation is see if we can even help you out first. Um, so like what's happening right now that's got you needing more leads for your business? And if he just keeps like going around the circle, he's like, and you just like you got to be like real with him. Like, hey man, I'm trying to help you out, but instead of me sitting here for like 45 minutes just going over a bunch of random stuff, you know, what's going to help you out and save you time so we can potentially help you is just walking through a few quick things. Are you open to just um us taking a super quick look at what's going on, and even if we can help you, because the last thing I want to do is waste your time. Is that fair? And dude, if he's still not playing ball after that, just hang up because the dude's not going to be coachable anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So strategy for everybody here listening is your redirect is going to start soft and it's going to finish strong. So basically like the 3 strike rule, right? Each redirect is going to be a little bit more direct and a little bit more, it's going to be a little bit more punchy, right? And so sometimes it's, and especially guys, dude, like we're hard-headed. Some guys have like this sense of ego and pride about them. Like sometimes you just got to sit them down, right? And if they don't want to be sat down and are kicking and screaming in the background, be like, okay, dude, well, like come back when you want help. See you later. Does that make sense, Diego?
Yes, 100% makes sense. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, okay. So what do you guys do again? I'm sorry, I barely.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Basically, we will teach you how to generate leads for local businesses by building simple little websites. We have almost 100 templates inside of the program as well.
Yeah. We're regurgitating too much information, and he's kind of like glazed over. Now, he's saying, what do you guys do? When you hear that question, I want you to think, how can you add value to me? Like, how can you create value for me, right? In order to do that, like, we need to understand things about his business. But we're only 2 minutes in, so let's keep going.
And you will have full support here. I would say too, you have coaching, we have mentorship as well, and we also do.
Okay. So Diego, the calls you take for the next 7 days until I see you next week, you are not allowed to tell them anything about the program until you figure out what the pain is.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's going to be like, and if you kind of like, because you're coaching right now, never ever ever coach in discovery, ever, right? Because now you've lost frame, and now you're just going to sit there and answer questions, because what we've established now is a precedence of they're going to ask the questions and you're going to answer them, and it's going to go like that for the rest of the call, right? And you're going to drive yourself crazy. So let's redirect, have confidence in this situation that we know the best thing for them is to figure out what their problem is, so we can even figure out if we can help them, right? That's the mentality. Like it'd be like a patient going to a doctor, and the doctor goes, so what's hurting? And the patient goes, well, tell me what you do. What do you mean? I fix people. So what's wrong? Right? It doesn't make sense to like answer the questions he's asking. Like, and just answer me honestly, like, do you truly believe that the best way to see if you can help somebody is understand their problem?
Yeah, I do
Okay.
think that you need to. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then if you believe that, you're going to have no problem making this change.
Yeah, I mean, I think I only made this change on this call because on the other calls it wasn't like that. But when I had this said, I mean, I was pretty pressured with the KPI, so I just wanted to set up an appointment. I knew it wasn't right, so I was pretty pressured about making the set.
Gotcha.
That's why I think, yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. So, and I'm glad you said that, because it kind of comes back to kind of the situation Ben was in, where he's like, hey, I have this great prospect. So there's like some outside emotions and influence that came into this call and affected how we normally do things. And in this case, it was, I need to hit KPI. In Ben's case, it was, this dude's an awesome prospect, right? And so the thing about sales is, no matter the outside influences, no matter the argument you had with your girlfriend, wife, husband, significant other, whatever, no matter how the kids are acting that day, the hardest thing is recentering yourself and showing up on a call like there's nothing wrong in the world. Okay. Now, if you need to take a vacation or you need to take a day off for mental health purposes and like recharge and recollect yourself, do that. Because if you can't show up 100% on your calls, then you just need to do what you need to do to make sure that can happen. I know we kind of got a little bit deep there, but yeah, my point is, try not to let outside influences affect how you normally run your calls. Does that make sense?
Yep, makes sense. Don't let outside influences affect
Yeah, exactly.
folks. Yeah. 5 light boxes per.
So let's see how you tie him down, just so we can kind of go.
Great
Where's it
question.
gonna be?
The call typically takes between an hour. Going on Friday, we'll be going to pricing, and he'll be sharing his week.
Together. If we,
Awesome.
this is gonna be a bit.
Awesome, I love it. I'm glad to hear that. And if it helps, I'd be more than happy to set you up with a coach. That way you can at least get more information. Sometimes, just having that extra conversation helps in clarity. You'll be going to pricing, and he'll be sharing his screen and explaining step by step what you will be doing, so you have a better idea. Would that be helpful for you?
Sure. Being that I'm new to this, yeah, that would probably be best way to go for now until I know what's going on
Yeah.
or what I'm going to be doing or how to, you know what I mean, to get the swing of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Awesome. And what is your time zone? Are you mountain time or what?
What did you just ask him?
The time zone.
The time zone. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, mountain time.
Okay, let me see what I have here. Right now I have for Friday the 16th. Do you have anything going on Friday the 16th?
Friday the 16th.
Got it. So go back through show ratio training that Matt has and just listen to it. He goes through it really, really elegantly. It's just so what do you got going on later today? Okay. Well, I have this, and this going on, right? And you figure out, can we make time? Can we not make time? Right. And then the next thing is, okay, what do you got going on tomorrow? Right. If today doesn't work. Right. And you just kind of go down the line, figure out exactly what they're doing during their day, because then Matt said it pretty well in the last training, right? They're thinking, oh, I can like the parameters in which I can show up to this call are pretty broad. And you're thinking like, I want you at a laptop in a quiet space, focused with a notepad and a pen. They're not thinking that, right? So we need to make sure that one, our intro is good. So we've established enough authority and trust to be able to direct them in this way. But when we get to the end of call, it's just, hey man, what's going on later today for you? What's going on tomorrow? Right. So go through that. I see Ben laughing. I go through that training that Matt has, and then I want you to practice that on some mock calls, and then um, that should give you a really, really, I mean, that should boost your show. What's your show rate right now?
Back then it was 66%. But it got, I mean, really, really low, like 22%. It was really bad. That was when I was pressed for the KPIs. But
Yeah.
initially it was 66%. Yeah.
Okay, 66%. Am I missing anybody here? Okay. Yeah, so ideally, like, let's get you up around like 80+%. And what that's going to look like is just getting into the pain, understanding the problems, just being super curious, kind of like what we went through in Ben's call. Like, we want to treat it less like a checklist and more like I've got these set of guidelines and things I want to talk about in the call. And if they happen in different orders, that's fine, right? But I know generally how to navigate them. So scripts are good to understand why you need to ask things and how to ask them. And then when you get good, you understand, when to ask them in a completely organic conversation. Does that make sense? Cool.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Diego, was that helpful?
Yeah, I mean 100%. Yeah. It
Gotcha.
was tough, the call.
Guys, and I just like everyone just take a deep breath. Diego, take a deep breath. I want everyone to give Diego and Ben a round of applause. Guys, great call reviews. And guys, I guarantee everybody here has struggled with the same thing at least once. And we do call reviews because we want to get better, not because we want to tear people down. So great job bringing your calls today. I really appreciate you guys doing that. It's not easy, but guess who's going to win? You guys are, because you brought calls. Okay. So you should be patting yourselves on the back because it does take guts. Jarrell, what's up, man?
So my question is, because it's like this is kind of what I'm struggling with. I'm struggling with like I'm trying to learn. I'm trying not to be following a script, because then that come like they can hear it. You're like following this checklist, and like you're not even. It's hard to listen when you're looking at, oh, what am I going to say next? What am I going to say next? So it's like you want to be actively listening. So I'm just wondering, like, at what point do you like just drop the script and try to, because like usually I'll write down like the problem, goals, whatever situation, like whatever like framework I need to follow,
Mhm.
just so I can like kind of look at that instead of be like, okay, I'm at this stage, so just like focus on this. I'm at this stage, like, or transition to this stage, rather than me trying to like read an actual script. So like, at what stage do you recommend where you just let the script go and just focus on the different sections of the call, if that makes sense?
Yeah. How many times have you mocked this script with somebody?
Probably not enough.
No,
Probably
give me a
because
number.
it's like no, probably like 10.
Okay. If you mock this 100 times, do you feel like you'd be on a different level?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, then do that. And then come back and ask me the same question. Cool?
Okay.
Yeah, it's just, dude, I'm glad you asked, but it literally takes repetition. So if you want to stop losing money and get better at calls, mock with people where it doesn't matter, right? And then
Hmm.
bring your A game to when it's game time, right? So if you want to get better, just practice, dude. That's it. Just mock the script over and over and over. If you get to the point where I could wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning and we could run this script coherently, that's when you know you've got it down. I know it's probably 3 o'clock in the morning there, so that's not fair, but you know what I mean.
No, no, I know. Well, like be able to wake me up out of my sleep and like start running the script,
100%.
start running
So
the call.
I want to tell you a story. So, and I'm going to keep it PG so I don't have to go to HR after this, but it was on a submarine, okay? And we had just gone underway. And so that means the boat's surfaced, it's gotten out of port, and we've gotten to a point where the ocean's deep enough to now where we can dive. We're underneath the water. And this is the best tell the non-PG version. If you come to one of my one-on-one coaching calls, I will tell you the actual story. Um, but not until then. But so we dive the boat, and it's this really, really cool feeling because everything gets like calm. If the sea, if there's not a storm going on, it's just like, you kind of go from rocking like this to just like slow and steady. It's a really cool feeling. But what's great about it is now, you can start your watch routine and you can start your schedule, get on your 18-hour days, and life actually gets pretty nice because underway, all you do is work, sleep, and do maintenance. Like it's a pretty routine schedule. It's nice. Um, so as you get underway, it was my turn to sleep because I had to wake up in 6 hours, at like 3 in the morning and start my watch. And so I had to go to bed. Well, I was like dead asleep. We were probably an hour into the underway, and we do what's called drills, where we run emergency scenarios. Everyone responds in the way they're supposed to respond to fight the what we call casualty on the boat or the emergency, fight the emergency, right? And I went from like dead asleep to in the back of the engine room within like a minute and a half of being like just completely out. And when I got back to the engine room, my brain was still waking up, but my body carried me there because I had practiced this drill so many times that from dead asleep to a minute and a half later, I had my uniform on, I had my boots on, and they weren't tied. I ran across without them tied, but I ran back to the engine room. I was ready to fight that casualty from dead asleep. And that's because I had practiced this hundreds of times and my body knew exactly what to do, right? So that's what's going to happen. You're going to practice and it's going to become muscle memory for you, and you're not going to have to think about what to do next. Instead, you're going to be focusing so much on the call and what they're saying that all you're going to be thinking about is, how can I help this person? What is the next thing I'm going to say? And you're not going to have to worry about what's in the script. Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. So I just have to make time to get on more mock calls with people.
Exactly. You got to get to where your body's just going to do it so you can focus on the finer details. You don't have to worry about what points do I need to hit because you already know. Good question though. What else we got?
But what I was gonna say to caveat that is like, in the mock call there where the dude has mentioned that he wants to take care of his family and I've just followed the script and asked the next question on it, is like, how can you kind of I basically said that to Corbin, is like, how can you stay so present in the conversation whilst also knowing like the next best question to ask? Because it almost goes beyond the script where you like the best setters just know the next best question to ask like 90% of the time, right? And most of those questions are not on a they're not on a script because it's kind of like a framework, right? So
Yeah.
how can you
So
and with mock calls, people will tend to be pretty nice, right? And like that, like if you're practicing with other guys who are already in sales, they're gonna know the kind of answers you're looking for or the direction you go in. Whereas real prospects will throw you off 90% of the time.
exactly. So practicing with somebody who knows, you know, who's like the goal is trying to get to the call. Obviously, it's not going to be the same, but you've gone through the script so many times that even if somebody does throw a wrench in the plan, you know exactly where it's going. Okay, it's fine. Like you know what to say, and so you can insert any part of the script, and that's it's like an evolution of sales, right? First one, you guys are caterpillars. We're learning the script. What is a script, right? Then we kind of go into our cocoon and we're like, okay, we're a little off script. What we're more structured. And then the last part is like we've emerged into this sales butterfly, and now we can pretty much go in and out of any part of the script organically in the conversation. But you are going to recognize patterns where typically this happens most of the time, where the call kind of goes these different directions, right? And so it's practicing with your fellow students is great, right? But um you're also going to get better dealing with real prospects, and it takes time. And like I said, like this developing this skill isn't easy. It does take work, but um some practical things you guys can do if you truly do want to get better as fast as possible is um a call that closed a call that closed that you guys had, listen to that call every morning, right? It can be the same call, it could be the same set of calls, but every morning listen to a win, which is something you did well or a call you closed, right? So typically, you'll do a lot of things right in that call. And at the end of the day, you know, once you've kind of, you've hit your KPIs for the day at the end, listen to a call that didn't go so well. What you don't want to do is you don't want to listen to the call that didn't go so well in the beginning of the day because that's, it's not as motivating, but that would be my recommendation. Listen to a win at the beginning, improvement call at the end, and do that every single day. And guys, it's just you got to put in the time if you want to get better. And I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but yeah, later, Adolfo. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. And what was I gonna say? I had something else, but I forgot it.
What's usually the ramping time, Michael, for like someone that's new getting into this? Like, what's a good time to like give yourself to ramp and learn? Because sometimes I feel like I used to play sports when I was younger. I'm pretty competitive, and it's like I see other people doing better, and it's like, I'm like trying to force myself to get better too fast, I think sometimes. So I'd just like to know like what's a typical ramping time so I can like kind of just remember, Jarrell, like give yourself enough time to get good at this. Don't think you're just gonna start running right out of the gate.
Yeah. And guys, like sales is weird. Like ethical sales is weird because, if you don't care, you can fake all this stuff all you want, right? But we're like growing our listening muscle to ask questions that, Jarrell, how old are you?
35.
Okay. To ask questions we haven't been trained on for 35 years. Okay. So we're basically like you're in your sales infancy. right? And so it's like growing as a human. Usually year one, you walk, right? And after that, you kind of learn to tie your shoes and so on and so forth. But honestly, if you stick in the space for a year, look at a call you did before that, and it will blow your mind. You're like, oh my goodness, like it'll be so cringy because
No,
you
no,
won't be able to believe. Now, dude, I'm not saying you have to be in this space for a year to get consistent sales. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's like this stuff takes time. This isn't like a get rich quick, but it is a job with a huge potential and a very, very high ceiling. So,
Mhm.
um, like if you're intentional about it, you just told me you've done 10 mock calls for this script. Can I just be like super straightforward with you?
no, no, be straightforward. That's not enough.
Not a lot of mock calls, man. Just like I'm not getting on a soapbox here, but I'm just telling you what I did personally. Before I got on my first offer, I had mocked a script over 120 times, just the setter script. Before I started closing, I mocked the script over 70 times.
Okay.
Does
So
that make
then,
sense?
no, no, that makes perfect sense. And it's like, I want to do the same thing. So now it's like, my situation. I didn't even know that I was going to be jumping into this offer as fast as I was. So
Yeah.
it was like, oh crap, it's like start mocking quick. And it's like, I got like 10 or 12 mock calls in, and now I'm on the offer. And it's like, I need to be making dials. So obviously I should be cutting out some couple hours, or at least an hour out of my day to be mocking with people every day.
Yeah, and I mean, um, even
Because
just
that's
even just listening back to your calls on that day, like one call a day, is gonna rapidly improve. And that remember that exercise I gave you where I'm like, hey, listen to your call, and every question you get to, write down one or two other ones that would have been way better.
Mhm.
So that exercise, doing the win and the improvement call at the end of the day, like there's so many different things you can do, but what I would focus on right now is mock calls with your teammates, like, and just get with somebody, be like, hey man, you know, I definitely don't want to fall behind. I want to get better as fast as possible. Would you be willing to do like meet several times a week to mock this, right? Or every day? I don't know. Just figure out something with your teammates, or use the community. You got 143 people in this community who can mock with you as well. So I'm sure there's somebody out there that you can mock with at least once a day. Um, and people are like, how do I do it? Well, dude, if it's important to you, you'll make time for it. I promise.
No, 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 that's exactly it. I'm gonna obviously just cut out time where I'm not dialing, right? Because it's like if I can get better, I maybe won't have to dial so much.
Gotcha. But what I don't want to have happen is like, I don't want the pendulum to swing too far here and you burn yourself out. But so like do it, but be smart and reasonable about it. Cool.
Okay,
I mean,
thank
make
you.
sure you're still taking care of Jarrell too. Cool. And yeah, guys, I say this because I love you. I don't say it to be mean or anything like that. Um, any other guys? This was good. We got deep. Um, let's shoot for one or two more. Who's got something? We're all sales gods, no questions.
Yeah, sales god right here, baby. No
100%.
questions. I bet I could find my mock calls with Jimmy, Jordan, Kyle, and Kelvin from RCA when we first started, and when I almost started
Woo.
crying in a mock call like this because I could not ask one single hard question. And Jimmy and Jordan are like, dude, you're 30. How can you not ask a hard question? Jimmy knows exactly what I'm talking about, dude. It was like midnight. So Jarrell, yeah, dude, if you mock 1,000 times, you're gonna laugh and be like, how would I ever expect to be good after 10? And then that's not what you want to hear. But like, dude, it took me like 2+ years to get to a point where I finally was like, you know what? I don't know that I need a script, but it's still helpful. Like, dude, I had two of my calls reviewed today. And I'm not making this about me, but like, I've
No,
been
no,
doing it a lot longer, and I still am like, hey, can I please get a review here? This person no-showed. How dare I get no-showed? Listen back to it, and you're like, wait, you jumped the gun. You missed a couple things because you assumed. And I'm like, shit, you're right. So then my next call, eyes closed, just Just listen. When your
That
eyes
is
are
a
closed,
fun
you're not
exercise.
seeing anything. You can't pay attention to anything else that's going on. You don't take a note. You don't use the script. You're just like, hey, Drew? Yeah, it's Corbin with so and so company. What's going on? You can like actually listen. So that's what helped me. But there's no substitute for volume, brother. There's not.
You might have an issue if you try doing it like that, Corbin.
Yeah, well, I have my headset normally on so I can squeeze it, you know. You've
All
seen me
right.
with my headset on. Don't play.
Hello, Joel.
I'm calling you
Hello.
out then, because it's like I know you're in my time zone, so it's like we're
Yeah,
gonna have to
see?
stop on and figure out some time
We'll
to
do it.
mock.
I was going to
Maybe.
send you a session. Yeah, if we can put something in like twice a week or something like that, I'd be down for it.
The hardest
So,
thing to do in sales is to be who you know you can be despite anything else that might be affecting you. That is nothing that anybody has ever perfected. And if they say they have, probably not true. Jimmy knows what I'm talking about. Stubbs knows what I'm talking about. Simon, you've been in the space for a while. I think he may be left. But my point being, like, that's not something that you just all of a sudden are. I still have calls to this day where I'm like, dang, I was not expecting that curveball.
Yeah.
So like it'll never just be like a for sure all the time thing. You will have a rocky boat on the water. But like, dude, that's what like the 1% of people can do is that. So you're learning something that 1% of salespeople can actually do all the time. So to expect that after 10 mock calls me an offer for a couple of weeks, that's absurd.
No, no, no. I don't expect that. I was
No,
just
you're
wondering,
competitive
like,
and
at
you
what point does someone ramp up? Ramp up to get to that point. I definitely don't expect that. That I would
So
be that good after 10 mock calls.
that's it. That's it. That's what I was going to say earlier. So there's like, it's not a matter of like months or years. It's like practicing an instrument. If you practice 2 hours a day versus 30 minutes a day, you're going to get better 4 times faster.
All of a
Right.
sudden you're Lou Bega, Mambo number 5, just on your way to the bank. You know what I mean? Like you just play the trumpet all day. But yeah, you're gonna suck at playing the trumpet the first like 50 hours, dude. It's just so sometimes you get to the 20, 30th hour and you're like, all right, I'm sick of this shit. I've done this enough. I should be pretty good at this. And that's like the fuel to the fire.
Yeah. You got to do it. It's just repetition, dude. That's it.
Yeah.
Practicing, talking to real
How'd your
peeps.
shoulders get that way? By sitting there doing nothing? Probably
Yeah.
not.
Dude, I feel like we're on a roll, guys.
How'd Jimmy get to squat 300 pounds? By not squatting a whole bunch consistently? Probably not.
All right,
Also, lots of reps, dude.
let's do one more. One more question. Someone's got to ask it, or I'll call on somebody. And it can't be Corbin. Who's got one?
How long have you been in this sales space, Michael?
4 years.
4 years?
Mhm. That doesn't count. Another question.
Whoa,
Yeah, someone
that's
ask a good question.
Come on, ask some sort of question. Like, you know,
What was the non-PG part of your story?
I can't tell you. You seriously have to hop on a one-on-one with me.
I'm not sure I want to.
It's your choice.
How do you not care about things as much to allow yourself some grace? I know you said not me, but that
No,
might
that's okay. That's a really good question.
like how
I
do you
was thinking
actually
about that
feel
question,
okay
to be
with your
fair.
effort and not the outcome of your effort when you don't have the best day?
What is the mechanism I use to detach myself from the outcome
Is it a mechanism?
despite my surroundings? Okay. So there's several things that I have done. One has like first and foremost, I think everybody here should go through something that just really sucks, right? And I think overcoming that thing that sucks is going to build so much character inside of you to where you have this perspective where now I have the emotional intelligence to process and deal with things on a level where I can feel something I can acknowledge that feeling, but I can choose to feel something else, right? So going through something that sucks so much and then acknowledging that you want to get better and then, figuring out how to do that is so important, I think, to emotional regulation. So it takes a lot of emotional intelligence. I'm sure you guys have heard that term, or at least, intuitively know what it means. But I actually talked to somebody about this the other day. So what I do, a physical thing you can do before a call is take 60 seconds. Obviously you wouldn't want to do this before every single call if you're a setter, because that would add hours to your day, right? But take 60 seconds before a call if you're feeling especially stressed about something, you know, I've just messed this week up. This other setter has got 10 sets. What's wrong with me? Am I no good anymore? Like, there's so many things that play into it, where it's like, am I doing this? Am I cut out for this? Am I good enough? Am I not good enough? Like, I've had all those feelings you guys have had, right? But one thing you do is close your eyes. You close your eyes and you'll take a deep breath. And you open your eyes. And then your blood pressure is going to come down. You're going to be a lot more clear of thought, and then you're going to be ready to go into the next call. And you can do that 3 times. Hold it for 10 seconds, breathe out super slow, and that is going to completely reset your mental state. So that's something physical you can do, right? Another thing you can do is you can practice, what I call stop. I used to have this note card with me, and it used to say STOP on it, right? STOP. And it was an acronym. S was stop, T was take a breath, O was observe the feeling, and then P was, you know, in my case, it was proceed with love. In this case, it could be proceed with confidence, proceed with something else, right? And so, I don't know, Jarrell, like, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but like, I was in a situation where a week just wasn't going my way, right? I was seeing everybody get sets around me but myself. Like, when previously I'd been like killing it, right? And so what was I feeling? I was feeling doubt. I was feeling anxiety. I was questioning whether or not I had the skills to do this, right?
Mhm.
But as soon as I start doing that and feeding myself that kind of mental garbage, right? Is that going to help me make progress and do what I know I can do on the job? The answer, right, of course, right? It's not. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to stop. I'm going to observe what I'm feeling. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling, uh, you know, I'm not feeling, I'm feeling like I'm not good enough. I'm feeling like maybe this isn't the path for me. Okay. Those are fine, right? So, I'm going to take a breath. I've observed the feelings, but I'm going to choose how I'm going to proceed throughout this day. Okay. And that's why listening to a win in the morning is so important. Like in the military, we used to make our beds every morning in boot camp. It wasn't because they wanted us to be geniuses at making our bed. It was because we started the day with something we did right every single day, right? So it's all about psychology. And sales, the hardest thing about sales, single-handedly, is staying in a place mentally where you can succeed every single day and choosing to be that person.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'll leave you with that. I hope that helped. Diego, Ben, thanks for bringing your calls today. You guys go forth and kill it. And remember, you can always choose how you feel. It just takes practice. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. Love y'all. See you next week.